Hello and welcome back to Virtue's Last Reward. It's been over a week since I've last played this game, and for that entire time, my mind has been on nothing but what was the gold plate reward about? Quite literally, that's what the back of my skull was just ringing that thought of like, what could it possibly have been? But I was also very frazzled from the last episode, so I didn't even have a chance to go through that. That being said, I want to be 100% transparent and say, I don't know if this episode is going to go well, because when I woke up today to record everything, and I mean everything, as a part of my setup, had to update today. So if anything goes wrong, I'm sorry. And I can't do anything about that. That being said, let's get back into the Gallum, whatever, and read my reward on the archive. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what that is. What? Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, I guess because I didn't quite go through the first root door or something. I guess this is where I'm gonna have to go. Golem. Alright. The golem is an anthropomorphic creature from Jewish folklore. Golems are made from clay and will obey any orders given to them by their creators without question, although they tend to take instructions very literally. A golem is created by performing a holy ritual, then kneading the clay into the shape of a person, chanting a spell, and writing the Hebrew word Emet, truth, on the golem's forehead. Erasing the E changes the word to Met, which is Hebrew for death. Interesting. Doing this deactivates the golem. Okay. Now, we kind of have a golem ourselves, but we've got a key that'll maybe unlock? I don't know. Golem. One of the golems that I just actually ended up guessing correctly, I guess, found in the nonary game. I was about to say non-binary. In the nonary game facility. He is discovered lying on the maintenance table in the golem bay. His product ID is GTMCMGOLM. He asked to be referred to by the last bit, which is, of course, GOLM. I have a feeling this is all spoilers, but oh well. Much to his surprise, this ends up being pronounced as Golem anyway. On a side note, GTMCMGOLM stands for Golem Type Male Cockney Model Number GOLM. Okay. Chinese room. Interesting. The Chinese room is a thought experiment developed by the American philosopher John Searle to contest some of the ideas about artificial intelligence. The experiment itself is explained in more depth in the game, but the general idea behind it is to pose the question, do intelligent responses indicate actual understanding? Searle contests that a computer could be programmed to respond intelligently in conversation with humans, so much so that it would seem to be human itself, but that it would not necessarily, or perhaps could not, actually understand what it was saying. Of course, this raises the question, how can we know that human minds are not, in essence, Chinese rooms? Can we really say that we understand the things we say, or we are just simulating understanding? I mean, I guess, but the human mind takes X and interprets it as Y. So the old meme that we all know and love, we all like take this can for example. I don't need to know, like I don't need to put my tongue on it to know what it would feel like to put my tongue on it, but it's basically the same response because we can collect it visually. That is a smooth surface. We can touch it already. It's a smooth surface. It's a little, you can imprint No, you can make a dent into the inside and make impressions on it. And yet, we know exactly how it's going to feel on our tongue. Yep. Felt like flat metal. I don't know. That's enough of that. Turing test. The Turing test is devised to gauge a computer's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior. First developed by British mathematician Alan Turing. The test has 3 participants: a human judge, a human subject, and a machine. The judge engages in conversation with the human and the machine. And if the judge cannot determine who is the machine and who is the human, the machine is considered to have passed the Turing test. I've heard of this before. But like I believe I heard that the Turing test in and of itself is like kind of jank. So like it doesn't really mean too much. When Fi mentions that perhaps she and her companions have been captured to perform a test, she's referring to the Turing test. I really don't know if like this is too much of a good thing for me to be able to read this stuff. Oh well. Supplementary AB rules. Here are some more AB game rules for you. Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, then every bunny gets penalized. Well, shit. Did we know about this? I knew about this. At least one person has to go in. In other words, one person out of every color group of 3 has to vote. Okie dokie. And Golem. An acronym for the General Purpose Autonomous Labor Electronic Machine. Golems are robots developed and sold by an American corporation called Vestas Systems. Some of the units in this facility, however, have had their software significantly enhanced by Zero Senior. A portion of them have also been given ABT created by Zero Senior. Incidentally, ABT is short for Artificial Biological Tissue. What? They've got muscles? Huh. Golem's story, the point. The gist of Golem's somewhat rambling explanation is that the center of the thought doesn't necessarily have to reside in the body. In the case of Golem, the self clearly resided in the mainframe and operated the body remotely. Since a self-aware robot could exist this way, he theorized, what would prevent humans from doing the same? If humans are actually being controlled by an outside force, then is there actually any such thing as free will? Again, it's a very, very, very highly proposed question. Is there any, like, do humans, once they're put on Earth, have any say in how their life is going to go? Or is it predetermined from the very, very beginning? The way that someone will die is already predicted from the way that they are born. I believe that, and I also don't believe that, because in the same token that you can decide to go out of your house, walk down the street, and be shot randomly, you can also take a left turn somewhere, and you meet the love of your life. But both routes could have also just been avoided had you not left your house. Oh well. Interesting theories. Where's my key? There we are. Lego. A lock for the door. Right now it says lock. You guys ready? I'm gonna open the door. Go ahead. Probably should mention, it's been over a week and I've only recorded, what, 6 hours of this, roughly? Well, over, because however long, but oh well. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that we brought Alice with us this time. I'm all set. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I did indeed find it.
Now, up, Governor.
I think I already know who this is. I hate that I see him standing in the background, but that's not actually who Glom is, or what GLOM was it? LEM something. It's supposed to be Golem, something. Was that you, Luna?
No.
Then Alice?
You honestly think a voice that coarse could come from a throat as fine as this?
I don't know. Maybe you the goat or something, and that can cause. Sorry. Then.
Oh yeah, that was me, mate. Oi, over here.
Sigma, look! What is that?
Look where.
Oh, blimey, that hurts.
I love that they've decided to give this character an Aussie accent, but I mean, I kind of suspected that he would be the one on the table.
Ain't right for a fellow's back to feel like this.
It's a robot.
And it's talking.
Yeah.
With an accent.
Okay, so I didn't know if that was just gonna ever be addressed. I thought it was just stylistic choice.
Can't help it, Flower.
Flower. No, her name was Luna. Huh, interesting.
Didn't choose to talk like this, not by half. Now, Alice, darling, do I rightly recollect you characterising my speech as coarse? Why, that's right cruel, it is.
Well, you've got a very coarse sounding voice. Some people find that attractive.
You really think I asked for this? See, they figured they'd give us all a, what you call them, personality. Some tosser thought they'd give me this one. It ain't right, I tell you.
I'm a bit surprised, but at the same token, I was kind of spoiled by this. Oh well. So, what the hell are you?
Cooper.
Cooper. Huh. Nice to meet you. If you're a barrel maker, I'm an astronaut.
Right you are, me old son. Right you are. Well, go on, have a butcher's, mate. What do I look like to you?
Have a butcher?
Robot, you say?
I guess. Robot, more like a skeleton.
Well, nearly there, but they call us golems round here.
Gollum?
Oh, I've heard of golems. They're sort of monsters, I guess, from Jewish folklore.
Mm-hmm.
They're made from clay, and they look like men. They're supposed to do whatever their master, or a creator, or whatever commands them to do.
Most of the time I hear about iron versions, but okay.
Well, aren't you a clever bird? You are, of course, correct. The golem of myth is a clay creation that moves under its own power. Our spellings are might different, though. The original blokes are spelt G-O-L-E-M, but me and me mates are G-A-U-L-E-M. That's an acronym for General Purpose Autonomous Labour Electronic Machine.
Mm-hmm. I just want to put this out there. I do the exact same stuff. I've written, like, not written out fully, but I've got a whole bunch of, like, stories written in my head where, like, I've thought of the title before anything else in this sort of fashion. One of them is Demons, which is Deoxyribonucleically Enhanced Mutant Operative Nullification Squad. So, it's the exact same thing. It was definitely thought of before actually putting it into practice.
The truth to tell, it's a bit rubbish when you write it out all like that. But I figure they wanted to make sure they had the golem thing in there, you know? What with us being robots and all.
So... should I just call you Gollum?
That don't seem quite kosher.
You said Cooper.
After all of me mates here are golems too.
Yeah.
I couldn't very well call all of you lot human, could I?
No. So you said Cooper, right?
What should we call you then?
Well, we've all got a product ID, and they're unique.
Mm-hmm.
I figure that's as good a name as any.
Yeah.
And your ID is?
GTM-CM-G-OLM.
Well, shit. Whoa!
That's way too long. We can't remember that.
What? You taking a mickey out of me?
I don't know what exactly a Mickey is in you, but oh well.
Never had a problem myself. Right then, let's just use the last bit, shall we?
G-O-L-M?
Gollum.
Come on, man. That's just Gollum.
Well, I'll be buggered. Can't say I ever noticed that before. Sure, it's a strange coincidence, isn't it?
A little bit, but, Cooper. It's been there since the very beginning. Alright, Gollum. You said Alice Darling a little bit ago, right?
What? A gentleman can't say something nice to a pretty young bird, eh?
Touchy, but it's fine, I guess. You can be nice, but don't cross a certain line. No, I don't care if you call her Darling. What I'm saying is you called her Alice. How did you know her name?
Oh, she ain't the only one of you lot whose name I know. I know who you are, Sigma, and you too, Luna. I'm right familiar with all 9 of you.
How?
You don't know? Oh, they got cameras all over this place.
I wonder, once we unlock, K, is that the start of his GOLMs? His, signature code, or whatever the hell. I don't know. And does Gollum know who K is? I mean, he does say that, whatever.
Well, then again, the lenses aren't much bigger than a screw, and they're all hidden away, so I suppose I can't really blame you for missing them, huh?
Yeah.
Now, as I was saying, there were these cameras, you see, and all of the data they record gets sent off to the mainframe in real time.
Huh.
So, I just gave the main core a ring, got those videos, and now I know everything you've done.
Then...
Does that mean...
You're Zero Junior?
Cool, blimey. Are you bleeding serious? Oh, you gotta be off your box if you think I'm young Master Zero.
Okay, so you're under Zero the Third. So I guess all of you could be considered Zero the Third's children, in a sense?
The young master is a right proper AI what supervises all the electronic bits and bobs in this place.
Yes, but if that... I guess that is your god or something.
My humble self, and those with the misfortune to be like me, are more akin to computer terminals who are merely borrowing a little bit of the central core.
So, golems are kind of like Zero Junior's servants.
No, not quite, Governor, not quite.
Governor? I thought it was an Aussie accent. What the fuck? Well, I was barking up the wrong tree. Whoopsies.
I'd say me and me mates here are more like arms and legs, right?
Oh,
No,
that's how you see it.
You lot don't have brains in your arms and legs, do you?
No.
Of course not.
Right you are, missus.
Well, there's... Okay, so... There is a thing such as muscle memory, and I don't mean like doing the same action over and over again and learning the exact power, like to shoot a basketball or something. I don't mean that, but like if you've ever seen a video of a shank of meat from like a cow where the muscles are like still like moving and vibrating a little bit, it's because the muscles are still moving in the way that they think should be working. But there's also still, like, electricity, per se, running through them. I don't know. But there's also, like... Interesting. Didn't Alice bring up octopuses once before in this game? I was just about to say, because octopuses have... Or octopi, excuse me. Octopi have, legs that can move on their own. Like, they operate... like brains, right? Is that a thing? I don't remember if that's a thing. Oh well.
It'd be all sorts of nasty if your elbows and that lumpy bit on your ankle was all packed with brains.
Oh yeah, now I do hear the accent a little bit more clear. Oh boy, I'm so dumb.
Well, we're like your arms or legs. The Gollum's seat of consciousness, so to speak, ain't in the head. Fact of the matter is, it's not anywhere in the body, which makes a fellow wonder, where is it?
In the mainframe?
Spot on. So that part of me what thinks is in the mainframe. Everything this here body sees and hears and what have you, that all gets sent back there.
Okay. So, putting that into question, why is the mainframe only choosing to use you, Gollum, to speak through when all of you could be speaking at the same time? Why just one? The exact same thing as me bending one finger, I'm making a choice to do this. Does the mainframe have free will?
Then the mainframe does some sort of computery jiggery pokery and comes up with some decisions, and those decisions beget commands. And those commands are sent over the wireless like whoop whoop whoop, and eventually my body picks them up. Finally, those commands cause actions what move the various bits in my body. That's why this thing's like a computer terminal, you see. The body's just an output device of sorts. If we were talking about one of them personal computers here, you could say a Gollum's kind of like a monitor, eh?
Huh? Oh, wait a minute. Then wouldn't that make you part of Zero Junior?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Mm-hmm.
What with us sharing the mainframe and all. But I don't know shit all about this game he's running.
Interesting. Why is that being obstructed from you?
That part of the mainframe's locked away from the rest of us.
Why?
I'm an independent core. Zero and I are two different blokes. You recollect what Gollum stands for, huh?
Yeah?
I'm autonomous.
Yeah. But if that's the case, your hands and feet analogy doesn't really make sense. My arms and legs aren't autonomous. They don't just move on their own.
You sure, Governor? I watched you cross your arms just now.
Huh. Cool. Interesting. And it's not like you have to think to do that. And you don't really breathe. You don't really think to breathe. That just operates on its own. Then your heart beats autonomously. Huh?
And now you're frowning and your forehead's getting all wrinkly. Do you do these things on purpose? But when you crossed your arms, were you thinking, right then, let's cross them, shall we? Curl on down then, mouth. Oh, and eyebrows. I'd be much obliged if you'd squeeze in a bit. There's a good pair of blokes. That's what you was thinking, innit? No? Didn't reckon so. I figured you did all of that subconsciously. Ain't no man on earth who says to himself, feeling a mite nervous, I'll just twitch me leg around a bit, you know? Who's thinking real hard about something and says to themselves, well, I think I'll just give the old loaf a scratch, that'll help. How's about when you reach for your tea? When you turn a page in your book? Or what about when your eyes just go straight for the pear on that bird you fancy?
Okay.
Yeah, the list goes on, me chums. But all of those things are your subconscious at work. Well, true, when part of your body does something, it's because your brain said so. But that don't mean your conscious mind is involved. Fact is, it can't be. If your brain had to deal with all the piddly bits of living, it'd make you balmy.
Well, I was just about to say, like, the whole thing of where, like, people believe that we only use 10% of our brain, and that is kind of like that. It, in a sense, where people get the misconception of we don't actually... It's not the fact that we don't have the ability to use 100% of our brain. It's more so the fact that there's a lot of underlying factors that are just going on at all times that the conscious brain doesn't control. Everything else can be operated by itself. Now, I'm not saying that 90% of what we do unconsciously, or subconsciously / unconsciously, or even in an altered state of mind, all happened at take up 90%. There's so many different avenues that you can just learn, and I highly recommend for anyone to just at one point in their life take a psychology course, because it is genuinely so much fun. Well, it was for me anyway. I don't know about everybody. It just to learn how dumb the human brain is, but how fascinating and, like, amazing the human brain is. Because all it takes is just a little bit of coaxing and a little bit of positive reinforcement to convince someone to do something wrong. And it can be very hard to make somebody do something right. It's incredible. Just take a psychology course with someone who loves the subject but doesn't take it seriously. That's how I learned it. I ended up taking like 3 notes in the entire course, and I loved the professor, and I got like, I think I scored like a 98 on the entire course. That was in college, by the way.
That's how us golems and a young master get along. You got it all sorted now, chums?
Then you're saying that Zero Jr. is the central part of the mainframe, and the golems are like his hands and feet?
Isn't that what he's been saying?
Righto.
I mean, that is what she said that he was saying. Whatever.
Blimey. Well, guess I shouldn't be talking about such heavy rubbish, eh? My shoulders are all stiff.
You're a robot. How can you say your shoulders get stiff?
And you said your back hurt earlier. Are you just messing with us?
Is there any rust or like we did see the oil over there before? Maybe he was leaking?
Yes, I did. And no, I ain't. Me back is a right mess, it is. Last maintenance check, they just left me here.
I'm sorry.
I've been in this bed here for years.
Were you even important for the puzzle, honestly? I don't even remember if like the oil came out of you. Well, actually, I didn't even get to see that.
The lubricant for me joints is all gummed up. Every time I move, it hurts.
But why did you wake up again after all this time?
Why do you think, love? 'Cause you lot turned me on his wife. Especially that other missus over there.
Other misses? Oh yeah, that button on top of the safe.
Right you are, governor.
Button on top of the safe. Oh, this one. So maybe that oil did come out of you. Well, I did technically turn on his eyes. So, could I have skipped all of this if I didn't push that button? Maybe the oil doesn't come out if I don't do that. I don't know.
Can you come with us then? The others need to see this.
No, I can't, and more's a pity.
Oh, sorry. Why's that?
I can only go as far as this cable here will let me.
Oh, that sucks.
I've got internal batteries, but they're knackered. Matter of fact, that's why I was here for maintenance in the first place.
Okay, so if that's the case, then why don't some of the other models come with us? Because they should all be you in a sense, but autonomous, an identity of self. Oh well, who cares?
The same goes for these other blokes too.
Oh.
Of course, they ain't connected to a power cable like I am, so they aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
But what about the internal batteries? They shouldn't be. No, this is like the maintenance, right? So they're probably borked in some way as well. I see. So you aren't gonna answer my question?
Huh? What question is that?
I asked you how your shoulders can get stiff if you're a robot.
Right, so you did. Not sure why you've got to bug up your arse about that particular issue, though.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not really important, but I'm just curious, I suppose.
Curious, are you? Well, that's a good word, that is. A good, powerful word. The kind of word that will set any robots all to flutter. Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Just lend me your laws and peers for a tick.
Okay.
So, how can a robot get stiff shoulders?
Age.
And what does pain mean to a robot?
What does pain mean? Well, I mean, pain in humans is, when a nerve suffers damage. Actually, not just a nerve, it's just anything on the body that suffers damage. Then a nerve sends that information to the brain, which gets interpreted as pain. So if you somehow can fight through the pain, quite literally, and tell your brain to turn it off, you can walk through fire. You'll die, but you can just do it.
Tell me, Guff, you ever heard of the Chinese room?
No. kind of. Just now. Without waiting for an answer, Gollum launched into his explanation. Somewhere, a pretty young girl is trapped in a tiny room. Sorry, I'm so sorry. The door of the room has a slot that a number of Chinese people outside the room can use to slide slips of paper to the girl. On the pieces of paper are questions written, naturally in Chinese. Unfortunately, the young lady has no idea what the questions say. But then, how could she? She's never learned Chinese. Apart from a Hong Kong action movie or two in college, she's never heard of it. Even heard it. So, for this unfortunate young lady, each note looks like nothing more than a bunch of strange symbols. Before she was locked away, she was given an order. Specifically, she was told to write an appropriate response to each question she received, and slip that answer back through the slot. Once the Chinese questions begin to show up, however, she finds herself at a loss. Oh dear, she says. How would I do that? Oh dear. Oh dear, she says to herself. Why can't I read these at all? I'm sorry, I'm trying to do his while making it seem like he's doing something fake. If you ever get a chance to see, like, voice actors break down a performance that, like, blows their mind, listen to them talk about the performance given in Duck Season, Rabbit Season. It is so amazing that a voice actor was not only able to do a voice for Bugs Bunny, but then Daffy Duck, but when the two get dressed up as one another, the trained professional, I can't think of his name, and I'm so sorry, not only does he come up with a voice of Daffy being Bugs, but he also has a voice for Bugs being Daffy, and they sound nothing alike. And they sound nothing like the original voices as well. It's so amazing, the fact that one person can do and have that much talent. Whatever am I to do? It is at that moment that she spots a bookshelf. The bookshelf is filled with the thick books. Upon examining them, she discovers that they are some sort of Chinese phrase books. They have no explanation of what anything means, but show Chinese responses to Chinese questions. Am I supposed to use these? The questions keep coming. More and more and more of them. She finds a set of characters that correspond to the set of characters on the paper, and carefully writes out the indicated response. How's it going? That would be someone on the other side of the door. How's it going? It's awful. Please get me out of here. Are you hungry? Yes, I am. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Here they give us some twice-cooked pork. Are you full? Yes, although I don't think my stomach liked it very much. Oh my god. You have a boyfriend? Yes, I'm dating a reggae dancer. When was your first kiss? When I was 14. He was a grade ahead of me in school. What kind of underwear were you wearing? Are you wearing? Well, black. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of this room? Beat the stuffing out of whoever's sending me these questions with the pan you cooked that twice-cooked pork in. All these questions were written in Chinese. And the answers were also written in Chinese. All the young lady did was accurately copy the symbols from the phrase books onto the slips of paper with no idea of what any of it meant. Incidentally, she doesn't have a dancer boyfriend. In fact, she's never even kissed a boy. Also, she's wearing white underwear. Anyway.
Yes?
Is there any particular reason this girl is, pretty? Or why we need to know what color underwear she's wearing?
I guess in a sense we kind of need to know that it's, that we know that she's not actually answering them correctly. She's just X equals X, Y equals Y.
Can't say there is. This tickles me fancy, I guess. But the prettier the bird is, the more fun the story is, isn't it?
Sigma. Exactly!
What?
What?
Right. Well, what I wanted to say was this. All them Chinese blokes outside the room didn't know nothing about them books what she had. So it follows that they would have thought whoever was inside spoke Chinese just like them. You see? After all, far as they can tell, they're having a nice little chinway with one of their countrymen.
Okay, interesting. But what does that have to do with your shoulders? Or a robot feeling pain?
You thick? I feel pain when my body's having a spot of bother. Well, hold up, mate, this ain't right. We keep this up and we bug it. If things go really pear-shaped, we'll be brown bread. So says the central computer to itself, seeing that things are a bit bollocksed. In the interest of extricating my body from this unpleasant predicament, the mainframe sends out a signal over the wireless, and my software interprets that signal as pain, and I stop doing whatever daft thing I was doing. It's the same, innit? Just like the Chinese room.
So you're saying the robots feel pain differently than humans, right?
Not per se. Our body acknowledges that something's wrong. Pain.
Use your loaf, missy. You listen to a word I've said. A human feels pain when you do something you shouldn't, like sit your bum down on a tack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for us robots. If you feel like being clever about it, there ain't really that much different between a human and a robot.
I guess. I mean, in comparison, I've always struggled. Not struggled. It's like I've always felt that it gets a little bit too pretentious for something even like Detroit Become Human. That I understand what the script is for, and it's supposed to teach like this exact lesson that humans and robots can live, have a symbiotic relationship. No, that's when like we get stuff out of the situation, but synonymously, we can live together, whatever. But in the same token, it's a human playing out as an android, robot, whatever, and the human makes the decisions, and even if in Detroit Become Human, this is going to be a huge spoiler, or it's in spoiler territory, you run down the routes of different stories. One character is treated kindly and then is thrown away in the trash, so then he goes on like a whole revenge plot, so he's got his own vendetta. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, there's a detective that operates solely of under the guise as protocol. And I feel as if that should be handled the same way as this. You the player, should go vendetta and protocol. You should not have something that bridges the gap. Because there's also a character that's that goes out, and they're all androids, that is just trying to escape. And I feel that the paths shouldn't like cross in between. You should only experience their set stories that way, because one person has free will, one person has sort of free will, but knows that it should protect something that goes on in the second route, and then the protocol route should be followed 100%, because when stuff isn't followed, that's where problems can arise. So, in a sense, I don't think we're the same. We can have the same things, but we're not the same. It's much like humans. Okay, this is exactly what I was trying to get to, but I couldn't remember like where my thoughts have gone, because I've thought about this before with friends and everything. We are not monkeys, and monkeys are not us. We're both primates, but we are not the same. We're different, but we're the same. Much like robots, we are the same, but different. We cannot be the exact same, but we can be similar. If that makes any sense at all to anyone, I hope I'm just making myself clear. We are very similar. We can have like-minded thoughts. We can have like-minded feelings. But at the end of the day, we're still different. The same can be kind of said for someone of color versus myself. We are the same, but my skin will get sunburnt more easily than someone who is black. However, the sun will beat down harder on someone who is more darker, hence the color spectrum. I do not know what happens for that reason. That's why there's shampoo for colored hair versus this. There's shampoo for curly hair. There's shampoo for straight hair. It's just, we're similar, but different. You just have to look at it like that. It's only natural. Species, genus, phylum, family, kingdom, kids playing catch on freeway get squashed. Kingdom, phylum, kids playing catch, class, order on freeway, family, get, genus, species get squashed. Yeah. We're very similar, much like dog breeds. Everyone can be, they're all dogs, they can all breed with one another, but at the end of the day, you have to treat them differently. My Dachshund is not the same as my Maltese. My Dachshund is prone to back problems, where my Maltese is hypoallergenic, so I'm not allergic to him. He's got more hair-like fur, whereas my Dachshund has very thin, short hair. Same, but different.
Forget all about that mainframe and signal bollocks. And us golems ain't that different from the bird in the room. So think about it, love. How do you know humans ain't the same, just without all the electronic-y pony, huh?
I'm sorry. I explained so much shit that ends up getting explained anyway.
If, when someone asks you a question, all you're doing is pulling out the right answer from some sort of phrase book in your brain. Ain't no way to prove that, of course, but far as I can see, there ain't no reason to. I mean, it's all the same, isn't it? If you're actually a thinking creature, or if you're just some kind of language processing machine. All what matters is if the person next to you does what a human ought. Looks like a person, acts like a person, and talks like a person, then it's probably a person. You want to live a normal life? That's all you need to know.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Lay it on me, Governor.
Why'd you stop us?
Ah, right you are, mate. Right you are. Got so carried away I near forgot. Haven't seen anyone for yonks, and I got a mite excited is all.
Just spit it out.
Right. Well, there was something I wanted to tell you, lot.
What was it?
Patience, darling. Now, I know I might look a bit out of sorts in a moment, but I ain't really supposed to. Same thing for the rest of the blokes here. Fact is, the reason we look a bit like skeletons is because we are a bit like skeletons.
Huh. I kind of made an inference, but I didn't know if that was going to be your guys' final designs.
There's this special artificial biological tissue what's called ABT. When a golem's all new and shiny, they've got a nice suit of ABT over that metal skeleton. Makes us look right human, it does.
How similar?
Even feels like real skin, with pores, a little bit of hair, and a few pimples, scars and the like.
Okay. So, if that's the case, then can you tell us as to whether or not any of us of the 9 are you guys? I mean, right now, kind of K is weird, but if you say that you guys have synthetic skin that is almost exactly like ours, could any of us be like that?
Truth to tell, I doubt you'd be able to tell the real from the fake, even if it was right in front of you. See, right in the middle.
What's going on?
Command violation.
Huh? What?
Rogue processes detected.
What?
Product ID GTMCMGOLM. Executing activation.
Oh, shit. Oh, boy. Well, now we...
Unit GTMCMGOLM. Now inactive.
Well, now we can't show him off to the rest of our friends.
No other rogue processes detected in additional Golem platforms. Returning to surveillance mode.
Did the cable just disconnect? Did Zero just shut him down?
It looks like it.
Damn it!
I wonder what he was trying to tell us.
See, right in the middle of...
Right in the middle of what?
An ambidex gate has been opened.
Ambidex Gate. Which one is that? I'm trying to remember.
45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
Okay, the Ambidex Gate was for the polling. Gotcha. What the hell?
Someone on the other team must have opened it.
Oh. Shit, yeah. Shit. Why would they do that?
We have to hurry.
Right. Oh, let's go. Where are we running to? Okay, that's where we all gather. Oh, so we always have to go back to this room for the polling. Interesting. I thought each floor would have its own polling thing. Huh. I mean, I guess that's right. All these rooms wouldn't exactly... There would be no reason to have multiple of these. We pushed through the magenta door and ran into the warehouse. There stood Phi, Dio, and Kay. Who was the only person that was by themselves? I think Phi and Dio were together, but Kay was alone? Yeah, these three were all in surplus, if I remember correctly. Hey! What the hell, guys?
Why did you open the AB gate before everyone got back?
I apologize. We only turned away for a moment.
Dio opened it.
Ugh.
You got a problem with that?
Yes?
Of course we do.
Why? I don't remember us all promising we wouldn't open the thing until everyone showed up.
Yeah, but you keep... you keep doing shit of your own judgment without consulting anyone. This isn't about promises. Are you stupid or just an idiot? An asshole?
Probably both. We were able to get back here in time. But what about the others? And Miyoji, Quark, and Clover are still out there somewhere. What were you planning to do if they didn't get back in time?
Nothing. Why would I have to do anything? Didn't you hear the voice? Anybody who doesn't get back in time to vote just gets their vote automatically set to ally.
Unless no one. Yikes, yikes, yikes.
It's pretty straightforward to me. So what if they don't get back in time? They'll all get set to ally and all three of them will get 2 BP. Sounds like a sweet deal to me. Tenmyoji's only got 1 BP. I figure he'll be pretty happy to get 2 more. And that'll put Quark and Clover up close to 9. So that's not too bad for them either. In other words, they ought to be thanking me.
Didn't you guys find a note?
What?
Okay, this is where things are gonna hit the fan.
What's this?
We found it in our safe. Read it.
Here are some more AB game rules for you.
I hope there's some good voice acting for this of like, oh, fuck!
Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, then every bunny gets penalized. In other words, 1 person out of every color group of 3 has to vote. What the hell, man? This wasn't in our room. Back me up here, guys.
He's right.
Hmm.
There was no such note in our safe.
Oh, well, damn. That's a bummer. I'd never have opened the gate if I'd known about this.
Really?
Of course.
I'm worried about the others. If time runs out,
They'll be penalized, yes.
I know.
Quark is part of that team. Maybe something happened with him.
Yeah. He seemed a little off before we headed into the chromatic doors.
This is bad.
"45 minutes. Hey. Wait a minute. Where's Alice? She was here just a minute ago. Where the fuck did she go?" Took me only a moment to spot her. Oh, is she like some, not computer whiz like Lotus, but is she like some mechanic whiz where she's actually just like gonna go like a back route through it and actually hit Ally for something? She was several yards away and kneeling down to look at something on the floor. What she was looking at, I couldn't tell. I was about to head over and see what was going on when... Huh. Oh, hey guys. Where's Quark?
Quark! Has Quark been here?
What?
Did something happen to him?
He disappeared.
Disappeared? What do you mean?
I mean, he's gone. We can't find him anywhere. When was the last time you saw him?
We were heading back here.
Mm-hmm.
Tenmyoji and I went into the lounge, but Quark didn't follow us.
We turned around and started calling for him, but
When he didn't respond, we ran back the way we'd come.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't find him?
right.
We thought maybe he just hadn't seen us go into the lounge.
So we checked the crew quarters and the infirmary.
But he wasn't there either.
All right,
Hmm.
we need to split up. If we can't find him in any of the floor A rooms, we'll move to floor B.
Okay, so is Quark gonna be the little shit that was June and Akane from the previous game?
Okay. I need to go tell Alice. You guys go on ahead.
Right, you do that. Hey! Quark! Quark! What the fuck? Interesting. Learning more about these rooms that we didn't go in before. Still nothing. He's not here. I checked both rooms.
He's not in the other two either. There's no one here.
Tenmyoji and Kei are in the lounge, and Dio and Luna should be checking the infirmary.
Right. Okay, let's leave that to them and head to floor B.
Hmm. Okay, who was it that was by themselves of the Clover, Quark, and Tenmyoji group? I think it was Tenmyoji and Quark? And then Clover was on her own? Clover was in surplus. Maybe Quark is planning to steal from Clover, like when we're all away. He went through the red doors with Dio and Kei, right?
Yeah, so?
What was on the other side of that door?
You want to see it?
Yeah. Maybe Quark went there.
Fine.
I was about to say through, but oh well.
Follow me.
Okay, through the red. Oh my god, this place is massive. Why is that arrow going that way? Music's changing. I don't like this. This is...
The pantry.
Pantry?
That drawer over there is stuffed with processed food. Wasn't half bad, actually.
You ate some of it? You ate it?
Yeah. There was some paella, nasi goreng, schnitzel, yukejang, borscht, and tom kha gai.
Oh my god, that's all mouth-watering.
Oh, and I ate the chef's pasta, too.
That's a lot of food.
Can't help it. I'm a growing girl.
Okay. How old are you?
20, I think.
Okay. Whoa. Just stop. I don't even know where to start here. 1. By the time you hit 20, you're done growing. No. Because the brain still has to mature. It isn't until, like, we're 25 or 26 where the brain is, like, fully matured. And that's where, like, biological scientists actually say is when you're supposed to start consuming alcohol. So, that's a thing. 2, you think? You should be old enough to know how old you are. Oof, okay. Rough thing about myself. Some shit has happened in my life where I don't remember having a 17th birthday. So, I always kind of struggle to remember how old I am. I think I'm 23, turning 24. I was born in 1998. It is 2022. Yes, 24 is right. Yeah. So, 3. How on earth are you 20? You look like you're 13 if you're a day. Another thing. When I legally turned 21, when I could legally drink in the US, I went on a flight from my state to another state, and they asked to see my ID, and they asked how old I was, and I said 21, and they thought I was 16. They thought I had just barely gotten the ability to drive when I was already able to legally drink. Baby faces are a thing. I can't believe you're only 2 years younger than me. Okay, and then we've got a little bit more understanding of how old Sigma is.
Now that's funny. You must have done a lot of drugs to look like that at 22.
Oh, give me a break, you little punk.
Don't call me little. I'm an adult, you dried up asshole.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Fine, whatever. So this place has enough food to keep people alive for a few years, huh? Looks like this stuff isn't going to expire anytime soon.
Yeah. The use-by date is about 100 years from now.
Really? Damn. Zero's doing a good job. How about water?
There's a tank over there. It looks like they're pulling it out of some kind of well.
This thing? But you have to solve a problem for that? Is it safe? Oh, this is... Oh, I didn't even... I was paying attention to this, and I thought the water was coming from below, up. I didn't even see this.
Well, since Dio isn't rolling around on the floor in agonizing pain, I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's okay.
You made him drink it to make sure it was safe?
I guess you could say that.
So, you ate all the food without a second thought, but the water struck you as possibly dangerous?
No, I was careful with the food, too. Dio had some of it first, and it seemed fine, so I... Oh,
But...
almost forgot.
What?
I ate something else! Twice cooked pork!
Twice cooked pork. That was mentioned in the, thing from Gollum. Huh, interesting. Oh, for God's sake! Why the hell are you shouting about that? I really like this dynamic, Sigma and Phi. Wait a minute. Twice cooked pork?
What is it?
Well, that just reminded me of something.
Reminded you of what?
This might seem hard to believe, but...
Bullshit.
Oh, come on. At least let me tell you first. Alright. Blah 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 blah. I explained how we'd found a room called the Golem Bay on the other side of the green door, and how we'd met a robot there named GOLM, who taught a very interesting story.
I see. So the golem guy was turned off just when he was about to tell you something.
Yeah.
So the last thing he said was, see, right in the middle of...
I have a feeling that thing that I kept fucking with in the previous episode, the little thing that I thought had like a card reader that you can like maybe move. See, right in the middle of the bookshelf over there or something like that. Oh. Yeah.
Right in the middle. Middle could be from Middle Kingdom, which is another name for China.
Well, this was utterly pointless.
Really?
Don't know why I'm
I
struggling.
don't think so.
Please explain.
Well, maybe he was trying to say that this game is like the Chinese room. In other words...
Sigma, Phi!
What's up?
There you are. I've been looking all over for you.
What's going on?
Something bad. Something really bad.
Oh, God. Well, we're gonna find out what that something bad is in the next episode, and... because I don't think my little heart can take it. With, Quark going off on his own, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Sorry I took up a lot of time to, like, talk about anecdotal stuff, whatever. It's not that I like talking, it's just that my mind thinks of things, and unless it gets it out, it feels like it hasn't been heard. So, maybe an ADHD thing? I don't know. I've never been told that I have ADHD, so who knows if that's even a thing at all. Oh well. Hopefully you're looking forward to more and what's to come, and maybe Luna's gonna tell us that Quark is hung up by his neck in the ceiling somehow, or has completely ripped off Kay's arm, or his Tenmyoji's suffering a heart attack, or not Luna, because that's who's in front of us, or Alice somehow electrocuted herself when tinkering with some of the other shit. I don't know, but who's to say? We'll find out in the next time. Have a nice day.